Hello, B1 family, Black First family. Welcome back to the channel, The Big Black American Secret. And before I get into the topic of this video, I want to read what this channel is all about. And I'm going to read it. Won't take but a second, but I do want to get the guidelines out because, again, this is the goal of this channel. The goal of this channel is to build an unstoppable army of knowledgeable black melanated people in America and around the world that understand we as melanated people have one enemy worldwide, and that is the system of racism, white supremacy. Our mission through education is to replace this evil system with a system of freedom, justice, and equality as laid out by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. We will need your help in building this knowledgeable army. You can help by subscribing to this channel, by donating to this cause through Cash App or PayPal, and by sharing the videos you watch here and any knowledge that was shared. In doing so together, we help fertilize the mentally enslaved, colonized minds of black melanated people worldwide, creating the perfect mental conditions for our children to grow up in a better, more balanced world. Okay? And Dr. Frances Cress Welsing's video will be in the description. Every black person worldwide need to see that video. Okay? That being said, I'm going to get on into the topic. Now, the topic of this video, and I'm not sure what I'm going to title this thing exactly, but we'll start off and I'll say this. I'm B1. I'm black first, right? I care deeply for my people. That's the whole purpose of this channel and the reason I do what I do. But it is very true, and every day that goes by becomes more and more evident. Not all skin folk are kinfolk. Meaning, just because a person is black don't mean they down for the cause. Now, I'm going to tell you, I haven't made a video in a month because I've been researching my family's history, and I've done a lot of research on my mother's side of my family. But my father's side of the family is still a bit of a mystery because I lost contact with my father years ago. I didn't grow up with him, but I did meet him while I was grown. Starting at the age of 17 is when I first really recognized him, you know what I'm saying, and started to build a relationship with him. And then over the years, we just kind of lost connection. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if the man is alive or dead. You understand what I'm saying? And I do hope to... I hope he isn't dead. I hope to maybe talk to him soon. I've reached out to some other family members who may have some information, and hopefully they can get back to me. But in doing my research, my last name is Jackson. That's his last name because he's my father. My parents were married at the time I was born. And I learned that on my mother's side of the family, we're Blackfoot Indian, Sioux Indian, and we also have German and Irish ancestry. This is what my uncle told me, my oldest living uncle told me not too long ago, right? So I thought, like we all think and thought, whenever we see and hear the word European, we think of white people. It's automatic. It's the first thing that pops out in your mind. So now doing some research on my surname, Jackson, come to find out that is a Scottish last name or Irish last name. It could be Scot-Irish. You understand what I'm saying? But it's European, right? So I've been doing a whole lot of digging. And I tell you, a great resource for me is, Dane Calloway, Kurimiyo Aha. I highly recommend those two researchers. These guys go deep into documents. You understand what I'm saying? Physical documents, paper documents, because sometimes in the technology age we in, they'll go as far as a Wikipedia search, and I'm gonna tell you, people that won't get it, because a lot of our documents that have been digitized now, whenever they talked about, say, a black person back in the days, it might have said Negro, or it might have said black, and when they digitize it, it'll automatically pop up African American. You see what I'm saying? The attempt and the goal is to erase the connection that our people have to this land, the United States of America. Anyway, in doing my own personal research, I've come to find out that the original Europeans who came here and set up camp looked like you and I. They were melanated Europeans. You understand? There is a document in one of my videos. I go through the document. I may do it here and now again, but it's amazing when you find out more information. You can go a little further with even more information, right? So in this thing, and a matter of fact, I'm gonna try to Google it right now while I'm talking to you. But Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers, and I think he was the guy with the string and the key and the electricity. Benjamin Franklin, the inventor. I think he's on one of the bills, $20 bill, $1 bill, or some shit like that. But anyway, this guy, England wanted to send a lot of Germans over here. For whatever reason, I didn't get into the exact reason why they wanted to send it, but hundreds of thousands of German people they wanted to send over here. At the time, he called them Palatine Boers, right? So he was real upset about that. And he was so upset, he wrote a paper about it. And it got a lot of circulation. In that paper, he pointed out a lot of his racist views, to say the least. And the title of this paper is called Observations Concerning the Increase of Mankind. Okay? And my computer's running a little slow, but I'm going to see if I can't find it. Okay, yeah, I found it. And I'm going to turn my phone around. It's Benjamin Franklin, and this is the observation concerning the increase of mankind. And this is 1751 when this was published. Now, I'm going to scroll down to about here. Maybe here I'll start reading. Okay, and this document is very revealing because we have just been mentally programmed to think certain things when we hear certain words, you know, and it's amazing. But here go. I'm gonna read it. Remember, he was very upset that they were going to send a bunch of German people here to America. He himself is from England. Okay, now I'm gonna read this and you'll see why he's upset. Okay. So I'll just start reading. And since detachment of England from Britain, sent to America, will have their place at home so soon supplied and increased so largely here, why should the Palatine Boers, German people, be suffered to swarm into our settlement, and by herding together establish their language and manners to the exclusion of ours? Why should Pennsylvania, founded by the English, welcome a colony of aliens who will shortly be so numerous as to Germanize us instead of our Anglifying them, and will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire our complexion, right? Which leads me to add one remark. The number of purely white people in the world, whole world, is proportionally very small. All Africa is black or tawny. Asia, chiefly tawny. America, exclusive of the newcomers, and they're the newcomers, wholly so. America, black and tawny. Tawny is a brown color. It's like a brownish orangish color, right? Tawny is dark skin. You feel me? The Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, Swedes are generally of what we call a swarthy complexion. Dark skin, black skin. as are the Germans also. So his problem is they want to send these black people, Germans, into Pennsylvania. And he pissed off about it. Also, the Saxons only accepted. So the Saxons and the English, white people, mainly white people. Now, that in itself kind of furthers the stereotype. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Give me a minute. Let me what I say. The Saxons only accepted, who with the English make up the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. Okay? Saxons, English, white people. Okay? I would wish their numbers were increased. He wished it was more white people. And while we are, as I may call it, scoring our planet by clearing America of woods, and so making this side of the globe reflect a brighter light to the eyes of inhabitants in Mars or Venus, why should we, in the sight of superior beings, darken its people? Okay? You want more dark people over here. Why increase the sons of Africa? Italians, Germans, Swedes, Russians, all dark-skinned people. Why should we, what did he say? Why increase the sons of Africa? He's calling all of these people sons of Africa. They're all dark-skinned people. We've been viciously misled. I'm going to keep reading. By planting them here in America, where we have so fair an opportunity by excluding all blacks and tawnies, all black-skinned people, brown-skinned people. Let's exclude them, right? Of increasing the lovely white, which are them, the English, and what he said, the Saxons, and increasing the white and red. The red folks, of course, are the Indians who are already here, right? Yes. Now, let me finish reading this. White or red. But perhaps I'm partial to the complexion of my country, for such kind of partiality is natural to all mankind. So basically what he's saying is, hey, look, I ain't racist. I'm just telling you I'm more comfortable with my own people. Hey man, I get it. I'm comfortable with my own people too. Okay? But now, check this shit out. He said, we don't want no more black people over here. It's a whole bunch of black and brown people over here already. But he says also, he says he want to increase the white and the red. You understand what I'm saying? So the people over here already, black people, brown people, red people. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to say this. Just slide this in here. We have to be careful, black people. We're including Mexicans and Spanish people. We're calling them brown. Mexicans are not brown. Mexicans, like Chinese people and Japanese people, they belong in the category of yellow. They're Mongolian breed. They're not brown. Here's what America did. They took us, the melanated people of the planet, and they chopped us up into a few different categories. They say, okay, we need to hide these people's identity. So we're not going to call them brown. We're not going to call them red. We're going to just call them black. That's so they could slide Mongolians in as the red people, Mexicans in as the brown people. You see what I'm saying? You see how that works? There's only 3 categories. Yeah, there's only 3 categories. White, yellow, and black. Now, the black encompasses, because these are all just colors anyway. Nobody's black, nobody's white, and nobody's yellow. But because we're in a system of racism, white supremacy, we are on teams. You have team white, white supremacy. You have team yellow, which is all of your Mongolians who ally with white. And then you have team black, who's the whole damn world is against us. Team black. Now, Now, I'm finna prove to you, you are not only the brown man, but you're also the red man. Okay? Now, if you want to, you can go to Google and put this in yourself, which is exactly what I'm finna do. And I do this on some of my other videos because it's very eye-opening. And I'll put in the definition of the year 1828 definition of American. That definition is so very important because it tells you two very important things. One, it describes exactly who you are. And it also tells you what the fuck has been going on to you for 529 years now. Your identity is being stolen. Your identity is slowly being stolen away from you. And they did the shit so slick. Now, again, they took you, black man, here in America, and they chop your identity up. You feel me? You're not the brown man. You're not the red man. You're the black man. Those two categories were given to Mongolians. Not only that, they took your spirituality. Some of you were Jewish, children of the Most High. I may have been one. I don't really know because I'm not a religious person. I gives no shit. I gives zero shit about religion. I'm 100% a spiritual person. You understand what I'm saying? Because religion was used to mentally enslave us and therefore physically enslave us. So I don't talk religion at all. Don't even bore me with the subject. You understand what I'm saying? It's irrelevant. It's a snare. And right now, the water is too muddy with religion to even focus on it. So, again, don't comment to me about religion. But I mentioned it for one reason. Black people were Sephardic Jews during the time of the Spanish Inquisition in Spain. When the Spanish crown in 1492, in fact, on the day Christopher Columbus set sail towards the Americas, ships loads, thousands of Sephardic Jews and Moors were being expelled out of Spain at the same damn time. As a matter of fact, Christopher Columbus' trip over here was not financed by the crown. Christopher Columbus got a interest-free loan from Jewish people, black Jewish people. You understand what I'm saying? He knew he was coming here. He was not lost. All a lie. Okay? Now I got off on a little tangent, but that's important too because I'm going to circle back to it. Now, proof that you are the red man. Okay? Now, the definition, I got it pulled up here and you can pull it up yourself. And I want you to answer me a question before I read this definition. Would you say that penny matches the color of my skin pretty good? The back of my hand? Yeah. Yeah. That's a 1-cent copper penny. Okay? Now, copper pennies come in a few different varieties and shades because we are all just different varieties of brown. From very, very light-skinned, damn near white, to mahogany, blue-black. Our shade, we vary in shades. And you can look at your own family for this. You got light-skinned motherfuckers in your family, and you got blue-black motherfuckers in your family. Every black family has this variety. It is what the fuck it is. That's who we are. Now, I'll read this definition. Okay? It says, the definition is on the thing, and this was a Google search. America, a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans. Now, this last sentence is very important. Not that the first part wasn't. That first part told you who you are. The second part is explaining to you what's been happening to you, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Now, that's very important. Very important. Because all of these negative things that are happening to you, your identity being switched up and pushed up, all of those things are set in motion because the white Europeans stole the identity first of the black Europeans in Europe. When they came into America and they saw an opportunity, they decided to do the same thing to the people here. When they got here and they realized the opportunity, and it took them a few years to formulate this plan, because what happened initially, Europe and America, it wasn't a white-black dynamic. It wasn't white people versus black people. No, no, no. It was more of just Europeans of all shades. I just read Benjamin Franklin telling you that the Italians, the Swedes, the Germans, all dark-skinned, melanated people. They didn't see themselves as black people, though. They saw themselves as European or Spanish or German or French. Color wasn't an issue the way it is now. Okay? So, when those black Jews were expelled out of Spain, some of them went to France, other parts of Europe. Some of them came to the Americas and to the West Indies. See, the Sephardic Jews and the Moors had sugar plantations set up. They had a network of sugar. They had ship routes for the sugarcane industry that they had set up in the West Indies. The reason that's important is sugarcane took a lot of labor. So, when Spain was having their problems, England and France got involved and said, hey, here's an opportunity for us to take power from Spain. Spain is making a lot of money in the slave trade. Spain is making a lot of money in the sugar industry. So those Sephardic Jews who were expelled out of Spain, those black Jewish people, were given land here in America to set up plantations and farms, free land from the government, because they needed a buffer class. People who have a track record of coming to a place, setting up businesses, and making money. When you put the Jews in place and the Moors in place on a land that's hostile in Indian territory, and lives are lost, you don't give a fuck if you're from England, because them ain't your people that's being lost. But they gonna send you money in exchange for that free land. And that's how slavery started in America. It was black on black. And it hurts me to my heart to know this, but I'm strong enough to accept the truth. I may have an adjustment period where I have to deal with this shit, but then I'm going to come back strong on it, because I got to teach my peoples, and you got to teach your people too. So, not all skin folk is kinfolk. Because a few months back, I kept hearing people say, well, I'm Moor, I'm a Moor. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Who the fuck is these Moors? We've all heard about them. We watched the movie Django. Shit, what the fuck is this comedian's name? Jamie Foxx was dressed up in that goddamn monkey suit. He was dressed up like a Moor. We didn't know it. We didn't catch it. You see what I'm saying? And it's those people that wear those fezzes. You know what I'm saying? Those people, the Jews, the Sephardic Jews, black Jews, and the Moors were like this in Spain. That's why they all was expelled. Those who didn't convert to Catholicism or killed, they were allowed to be shipped out of Spain, and they went to France, some parts of Europe, Germany. They had networks of family members all over because they were in the trades. These people have always made money in the mercantile businesses. So when they came to America, they was given free land, a lot of land in South Carolina, hundreds of thousands of acres of free land. Matter of fact, Carolina was a pretty big slave hub as well. Okay? But now, how does this connect to my family? And possibly your family? Well, here goes. Those Jews set up plantations here in business, and they also had other businesses. And I'm right now, I'm just kind of laying out how things happened. I won't get into specifics. names and dates right now. You understand me? Because that's not so much important as what happened. You understand what I'm saying? But this is what happened in the early 1500s, leading up to the 1600s. This is before the Pilgrims came. You understand what I'm saying? Europe had to send a buffer class here first. The people who set up the original colonies were black Europeans, Sephardic Jews, and Moors. They kicked off the slave trade to feed the sugar industry and to help build plantations here in America. Now, their labor force initially were black Europeans from Ireland, Scotland, Germany. So when people say that there was white indentured servants, they were European indentured servants, black and white. But a large majority of them were black. See, in England, the English people were at war with the Irish people. A lot of Irish, black Irish, were in jail. To get freed from jail, a lot of them were given the option to come to America. You work an indentured servitude contract. When your contract is up, you're now a free person. You see how that works. And I saw an article just yesterday. A lot of Indians gave money to the Irish to help them through the potato famine that went on back then. How would Indians know about what's going on in Ireland? Because the Indians worked side by side as indentured servants alongside black Irish indentured servants. These people had communications with their fellow men back home. They communicated just like immigrants do now. In fact, they would make money here and probably send it to Ireland. So the Indian nation helped out the Irish continent, and they actually just got recognized by this from from Ireland, just recently, from what I hear. So it's very interesting, this history. But what the demon part of it is, we've been taught to believe when we hear the word European, it's instantly white people. No. Europe, just like all continents, was initially black people. White people eventually became in power in Europe. Hell, Sir Charles, King James, the person who commissioned the Bible, a black fellow. Charles V, a black fellow. And this is, just hang with the channel. Hang with the channel. I teach as well. We'll go into the documents that proves this. Eyewitness accounts from the 1700s. Things like this. But it's so important for me to just get the story out initially, because we have to know what happened, right? So now from now on, when you think of European, don't just think white people when you're hearing history. You understand what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, the term white was not used until after Bacon's Rebellion. During Bacon's Rebellion, the indentured servants got together, the European indentured servants got together with the indentured servants here in America, because the labor situations were so bad they wasn't letting people out of their work contracts, and they just had a labor dispute. It just blew up, and a bunch of rich white, probably Europeans, got killed. And the people in Europe says, well, what can we do that this don't ever happen again? And here's what they came up with. They says, from now on, all Europeans will be considered white, whether they black or not. They're going to be considered white, because white it's a tax term. It's whiteable. It had nothing to do with color. Black Europeans, white. Black indentured servant from America, i.e. Native Americans, my relatives and yours, Negroes. You're just black. Okay? So you take indentured servants from European place, black and white. Here, Native Americans, black folks who are indentured servants, same level. These people lived together, they fucked together, they had families, They was equal. But now, let's elevate the Europeans to white. Now these people are feeling better than these people. They're looking down on these people. These people have, when they moved up to this club called white, they got incentives. They could own land, own slaves, buy guns, vote. These people could no longer do these things. You see how I'm saying? So these people are feeling elevated, looking down on these people now. That's how they created the separation between these people. Now, the evidence of this in one case is Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln, his father was a black German. He came here and married an Indian woman, a black Indian woman. Abraham Lincoln looked like you and I. He was black. His own description of himself in old documented hidden papers, he described himself as black. Now, he also believed himself to be European. You see what I'm saying? He didn't see himself as a black person. He saw himself as European, a dark-skinned European. You understand what I'm saying? So, not all skin folks is kin folks. When people feel like they're better than somebody else, that changes the whole fucking dynamic. You understand what I'm saying? Now, so, getting back to what I was saying, what I learned about my own peoples, you probably got the same history in your people's line. Hell, matter of fact, I saw a documentary before Muhammad Ali died. He knew that his lineage was Irish, and his people came from the Caribbean islands. Black Irish by the thousands were sent to work in the plantations in the Caribbean. But he thought, like we all thought, those were European whites that were sent to the Caribbean islands. And that's why it's such a strong tradition. They celebrate St. Patrick's Day. But no, his people were black Irish. I wish he was alive for me to tell him this. And he could study this for himself. If there's anybody on this news feed who know his people, who are related to him, please let him know what I'm telling you. And they can contact me or do the research themselves. His lineage was black Irish. There was no white Irish. There was not a large number of white Irish sent to those islands in the Caribbean, those slave markets. Some of you all, when you do your history, you'll come up to a European name, and it'll stump you. And you'll instantly think that, oh, this must be the slave master's name. When in fact, no. It was just your people. You had some black relatives that were European. And if they had slaves, it was miscategorized as, it was indentured servitude, but they just lumped it in and saying that's just slavery, when indentured servitude was not slavery. When you're in indentured servitude, you're a free person. They just have a contract for your labor for 7 to 10 years. When that contract is up, you can go on to another contract. Or if you got land from the money you make, you start do your own thing. You see what I'm saying? We've been completely miseducated on this and twisted for a reason. And again, the reason is identity theft, land theft, labor theft, and resource theft of America. Think about this. Why is it when everybody else that's here in America, they're either Chinese American, Japanese American, Jamaican American, African American, it's always something in front of that American. But when you address a white person, they're not Irish American, German, none of that. They're just American. That's because they have been working viciously to continue to steal your identity, black man and woman, your land, black man and woman, your resources, black man and woman, and your labor, black man and black woman. This continent is yours. You are an Aboriginal American. When you continue to allow the lie of the out of Africa theory, which was given to us by black people, that whole Roots movie was plagiarized. Alex Haley was successfully sued in court for that story. He stole that story from a white man. He never found any African heritage of himself. And if he was to do any digging, the closest he would come to Africa is, like many of us, would be the West Indies. You understand what I'm saying? Because slavery took place on this continent. They took our people from here to parts, actually to Sierra Leone, West Africa, to Spain, to Europe, and to other parts of the United States. Check out any and all of my videos. Subscribe to this channel, like this channel, and support this channel. It's very important. We have to be of a mindset as of now that everything that we have been taught is a lie, and we must be re-educated is the best I can tell you. Now, getting back to what I was just saying about the identity thing, and I forget exactly what I was saying, but anyway, I'm sure it'll come back to me when the time is necessary, you know. But and that's why when white people get irritated at Mexican people or black people, they go, "You need to go back to where you're coming from," because they think this shit belongs to them. No, this shit is not yours. Never have been. You are an immigrant. Black Americans are the only real true Americans. Hands down, period, point blank, same. Now, what I was talking about just came back to me, so thanks for being patient with me. But anyway, the out of Africa theory, and I'm gonna break this down in a nutshell, quickly, fast. I'm gonna put a period on this thing real quick. They found the jawbone of a Homo sapien in Ethiopia that dated 2.8 million years back. Yes, so therefore, all black people must come from Africa, because they found the oldest bones of an Homo sapien in Africa, Ethiopia, right? Makes sense. Here's where it falls apart. They do not allow digging, archaeological digs in America, in Europe, no the fuck place else but Africa. They comfortable with us digging in Africa because that's where it's a large body of black people are, and they can say all black people came from Africa. They do not want you to know that black people are aboriginal to Europe, black people are aboriginal to America, black people are aboriginal to Asia, black people are aboriginal to this whole fucking planet. We come from the dirt of every fucking continent. There was no mass migration out of Africa. Never have been. That's a European lie. We must end this lie. We must stand on new understandings and facts. If you're a person who are so married to that lie, then you need to stop talking to people, because you are a hindrance to the truth. You cannot be so tied to something that you don't want to let it go even when you learn the truth about it. This is the same with religion. If you're a black person, religion is destroying you. I don't give a fuck what religion you are. You could be Christian, Muslim, Buddha. There's many of them out there. But all religions were handmaidens of conquerors. All. The reason slavery was so successful, from the Arab slave trade to the Christian slave trade, was because of those religions. If you enslave a person's mind, their bodies will follow. So end your love affair with religion, all of them. Pick up spirituality. What religion does, it puts a buffer in between you and God. It puts a buffer in between you and your Creator. Christianity, that buffer is Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? You have to pray to Jesus. He'll forward your message to God. You are an original person on this planet. You have no need for a buffer. A buffer is implanted for two reasons. One is for fear. Two is for control. You don't need a buffer. You are a free spiritual being. Matter of fact, that is your most powerfulest form. That's why religion was given to you, to take your power, to give you fear, so that you would need a savior. Black man and woman, please hear me. Black man and woman, please hear me. It is time to wake the fuck up. No. Don't just wake up. Grow the fuck up. Your children need you. And for you to continue to sit in a lie, continue for your children to live a lie, and not have the balls to stand on the truth that the dirt under your feet belongs to you, is unconscionable. It'll hurt you at first to hear this. You may struggle with this. You may go into a spout of depression. But once you learn the truth, you got to learn to stand on that truth. You've got to learn to stand on that truth. And then you must now teach this truth. So please become educated. Open your mind to the possibility that 1% of the shit coming out of my mouth is true. I've pointed to you a Google search from the year 1828 that you can go look up too. And it describes the copper-colored aboriginal as the only first true American, which is you. The Indians in our history book is a Mongolian breed of Asian. They come across the Bering Straits 12,000 years ago. That's what leading paleontologists tell us. Now, this is the 2020 census. If you look on the 2020 census and you find a section where it says American Indian, it tells you in this passage that the American Indian is an Eskimo. That's all those people ever were. So when the Europeans came here and they saw the possibility, an opportunity to take this land for themselves, they said, you know what, them Eskimos there, it's a small group of them. If we ever need to, we could get rid of them people real easy. We'll say they're the nation's first people. But if we ever need to get rid of them, we can. Or we can put them in concentration camps. What do they call them? Reservations. Millions of black people that's walking around here, black and brown people, red people. We're going to say we brought them people here from West Africa. Identity theft. Our identity has been chopped up into, let's count the pieces. You take the black man in America. His identity, his brown was taken out, giving that to the Mexicans. Red was taken out, giving that to the Eskimos. His, I ain't going to say spirituality, but I'm going to say the Sephardic Jews who started slavery in this continent were Jewish. You take that black Jewish identity and you give that to the white Sephardic, not Sephardic, I forget, the white Jews are called something else. It'll come to me. You see what I'm saying? It's a reason America pays Jerusalem so much money. I mean, whoever them white people is up there, so much money every year. I think that's hush money. I think that's hush money so they can continue to say that they're Jews. If they're Jews, then black people can't be Jews. You see how that works? If the Indian is the red man, then the black man can't be the red man. You see how that works? Although them Indian Mongolians being fucked over. Now, the black Jew and the black Moors started a slavery here in America. Now, here's some tricky shit that happened. Remember, all skin folks ain't kin folks. So, right after Abraham Lincoln's assassination, before he got killed, he signed a document into law. I think it was called the Homestead Act. This is where they could, take lands from people. And they said it was for westward expansion, but they use it on every continent. The black Jews and Moors who had hundreds of plantations in the South. They made a lot of money. These people are the ones who created not only the Republican Party, but also the Confederacy. America was originally a confederacy. These were a confederacy of Huguenots. Huguenot means secret, a confederacy, a private confederale. You understand what I'm saying? So, after the war with England and England lost. Those black people who were losing their land and their slaves was trying to maintain that. At first, they had federal protection. After Lincoln died, the Democrats, who were the white party, made a deal. They said, hey, let's take those federal troops up out of the South. That'll leave these black landowners exposed and unprotected. That's when Jim Crow started. That's when they started killing black people. Well, they at the time. Okay, I hope I ain't losing y'all on this, but in a nutshell, at that point, white people says, "Hey, we're gonna make this shit solid." White is just gonna fucking mean white. It no longer means European, black and white. No, we're gonna lump these black slave owners and with the same group as the slaves. They're all just black. They took those people's lands, ran them and killed them and hung them, run them up out the South. We all just thought that after slavery, after Abraham Lincoln signed that document, it says, hey, black people made a lot of fast advances. They had hundreds of thousands of acres of land. A lot of them, like it just happened like that. No, those people already had land and farms. They started slavery. You understand what I'm saying? And I know it's hard to hear for a lot of black people. It was hard for me to hear. This depressed me for a spell. To notice that melanated people would do this to other melanated people. But again, not all skin folks is kin folks. Not all skin folks is kin folks. And it wasn't about race back then. It wasn't about color. Because again, 90% of the world was swarthy, dark-skinned people. Europe, Asia, the whole, yeah. White people have always been just then about 10% of the population. Benjamin Franklin told you that himself. But now here they have an opportunity in the late 1800s to make America a white country. This is when racism, white supremacy kicks off. Those white poor people who were sharecroppers working for black plantation owners, here is their opportunity to now take that land from the black person, hang his ass, kill him, squat on his property, keep it profitable, and in a few years after paying taxes on it, they own it. It's called squatters' rights. Look that shit up. People, this is what happened. This is what happened. Folks in the South were terrorized during the Jim Crow era because a lot of those black people had money, had land. Hell, they was Jewish people, a lot of them, and Moors, the ones who owned plantations. Now, think about this. When you hear the Ku Klux Klan, and these people always say, they always have been saying this, they hate niggers and we hate them damn Jews. I didn't even know there was no goddamn Jewish people in the South. I promise you, I did not know where they get, why they hate Jews in the South like that. Because the blacks were Jews. They were Sephardic fucking Jews from Spain, man. You can't make this shit up. It sounds ridiculous because it's fucking true and all documented. Look, join this channel. I do teach. You can get you can pay for this two ways. $49, and you'll get a zip drive or download of all, I think it's over 100 hours of video information of documented proof of everything that I'm saying and more. Or you could join my class. It's 4 weeks. We meet once a week through video conference for about an hour or so. You go over the videos. We talk about the videos. Then you get, homework assignment. And you watch other videos. And the reason I like the coaching part of it, I call it the coaching class, because it'll cut your learning curve. I picked this up over a couple of years, and I learned it slowly, painfully slow. But again, we are building a base of knowledgeable melanated people so that we can go forth and help free the rest of us who are mentally enslaved, so that we know 100% our ownership to this continent. So we stop focusing on some shit that don't belong to us. That's what they want us to do. White Europeans do not want us to know this belongs to you. If you knew that this belonged to you, you would move differently. They don't want you to move differently. They want you to remain fearful and ignorant and live off scraps. And that's unfair. Okay? Now, I'm not sure exactly what was the last thing I said, but I think I done hit my point. But now I do want to mention this, though. I want to show you something. What is the danger that all skin folks ain't kin folks? I'm talking about nowadays. Well, I'm gonna show you. I got something pulled up here on the screen. And I heard this fella talking. This fella talking, and I'm gonna make the screen bigger so you'll see what I see. And I'm gonna pause it. You ain't gonna hear what he talking about, but you done probably already heard what he was saying, which was a whole bunch of foolishness. And this fella's name is Herschel Walker. Okay? Now, this is Herschel Walker on the screen. Again, we all know him. He's a famous football player from back in the day. You know, he had a really good sports career. Now, Herschel Walker would be one of them people I would put in the category of all kin folks ain't skin folks. And why would I say that? Well, here's the danger. He does see himself as a black man. He can't help but not to. Look in the fucking mirror every day. That's what's there. But he is so controlled and influenced by the system of racism, white supremacy. His mindset is he's a Christian black man. Remember I told you about religions. It's mental enslavement. Not only that, he worked in the NFL. He's part of a brotherhood of sports people, black and white. He was a part of a team, black and white. They worked together as a unit, black and white. No different than police officers. They operate as a team, black and white, working together. The black people in those instances are a part of a brotherhood. They simply believe that the brotherhood is where they should be. They don't believe in reparations for black people because they are being taken care of by the system of racism, white supremacy. They are being used by the system of racism, white supremacy to as a shining example of what all Negroes should be. We need to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and work hard and get educated. That is how you become successful, because that's why I'm successful. No, nigga, that ain't why you successful. You successful because you are a tool for the system of racism, white supremacy. Somebody please forward this video to his ass, if you know him. Because sometimes the truth hurts and a motherfucker need to hear it hard. You're a tool for the system of racism, white supremacy, and the fucking sad part about it is you don't even goddamn know it. Oprah Winfrey, a tool for the system of racism, white supremacy. She don't even know it. I just found this shit out personally myself, because everybody thinks if you are successful and you're successful because you work hard and you now deserve it. But no, you're allowed to get ahead, because if a white person can position you in front of a large audience of people and they look at you as a symbol of success, and how you obtain success is you worked hard, and as a hard working black man you became successful. They don't see the fact that it ain't that you was working hard. No, you were a tool for the system of racism, white supremacy. You're a tool in the sense that your success continues. I mean, your success allows the system of racism, white supremacy to be invisible, to operate below the surface. You don't see it. The system will always parade a successful black person out in front so that they can say, hey, look, this black guy is here. He's doing very well. We're not racist. You're just not working hard enough, fella. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Here's something else you're starting to see a lot of around the country. This is another subject. This is talking about police officers. A large percentage now of police captains are black. So therefore, if the captain is black, then this precinct can't be racist because the captain is black. But you know who ain't black? The people he report to, the unions. You see what I'm saying? The mayors. These people ain't black first. They don't have black first ideology. Herschel Walker, he does not have a black first ideology. He's into the Rainbow Coalition. We all just need to love each other. And check it out. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm into loving everybody when shit is equal. When shit is equal, I will love the fuck out of everybody. But right now, everybody ain't fucking loving me. Matter of fact, you're thieves and you're stealing from me, and you're very doing this shit very slickly behind my back. I don't appreciate that. I don't respect that. You understand what I'm saying? So, you are premature, Mr. Walker, in your love for everybody. Guess what? Malcolm X loved everybody. Martin Luther King loved everybody, and they killed his ass. Because love ain't the key. Because if we all got together and had a big-ass love fest, you know what's going to happen? White people would disappear. Our genetic DNA, our genes. If we went out and fucked every white woman, her baby's going to come out black. I don't give a fuck how light-skinned they is. Them babies going to be black. And guess what? That's the fear of white supremacists. They do not want to die. They do not want to be fucked out of existence. Because that's exactly what the fuck's going to happen. Why do you think they work so hard to feminize the black man? A feminine black man is not a strong, protective, masculine black man. No. All of those black men, a good number and majority of those black men, are behind bars. That's on purpose. That's by design. See what I'm saying? So, we got a lot to do, people. And it's all doable. We just have to drop this fear. And I'm going to say this one other thing. Grandmaster Jay of the NFAC, he's going to need our support. He's going to need our support. This racist government has attacked him because he has stood up for his people. He has physically the fuck stood up. He has shown us a blueprint that we need to arm ourselves, demonstrate our rights under the constitutional laws, and protect our communities like men. And for that, William Barr, under the tutelage of Donald Trump, created a task force 30 days after seeing his display in South Georgia when Ahmaud Arbery got murdered by those racist demons. You understand what I'm saying? So he's going to need our support so they do not lynch this man. This is a public lynching, not only to quiet him, but to quiet every other masculine, black, protective man in America. This ain't about Grandmaster Jay per se. He, personally speaking, he's shown himself to have flaws, character flaws. Do I think he need to be a leader? He's done caused jeopardy in that arena, but he does not need to be punished like they killed Fred Hampton. He does not need to be punished like they murdered Malcolm X, and they did murder Malcolm X. He does not need to be murdered like they did Martin Luther King. You understand what I'm saying? The government does this to every black masculine man who stands the fuck up. When you stand up for black people, I'm letting you know right now, black man, you got an army behind you. You have millions of armed citizen fighters that will go to their death, and we will take millions of them racist bastards with us. I'm behind Grandmaster Jay 100%, and there's an army behind me. Join that army. Join that army. Do not allow this butt-breaking process to take place. If you are black first and you mean that shit with your heart, dedicate a little bit of your time on your platforms and stand up and say, hey, we are behind this man 100%. We don't 100% believe in his leadership at this point because it's shaky. That ain't the point. We're against this racist governmental attack by this racist task force created by William Barr and Donald Trump against this man because it is against us all. Dedicate a little time on your platform to get that message across. We will now put this government on trial for racism. That's what we will do as black B1, as the B1 family. This government is now on trial. You are no longer going to be lynching us in private. You are no longer going to be doing these evil, racist things to our people. The United States government is racist, and I'm calling them out. Everybody behind me is calling them out. We do this now, and we stand on that shit. Do you please, everybody who understands me, please put B1 in the comments. If you feel this shit in your soul, fuck everything I said before this. Fuck all that. You can come to that conclusion on your own if you follow. But right now I'm talking about this racist, devilish government trying to kill positive, powerful black masculine energy in every black man. If you ain't for that shit, you put B1 in the motherfucking comments. That's all I'm asking you to do. And if you are a person like me who has a YouTube channel, spend some time telling your people about this racist governmental task force that was created by William Barr. 30 days after they saw Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC down in South Georgia. It's wrong and it ends. A lot of bootlicks, old nigger ass politicians allowed Malcolm X to be assassinated, allowed Dr. Martin Luther King to be assassinated, allowed Fred Hampton to be assassinated because they didn't stand the fuck up. Well, black man, I'm asking you right now. Well, black woman, right now I'm asking you, will you stand the fuck up? And on that note, I'm going to end this video. Like, share, and comment. Please. It's important. It is time now for unity. It is time now for unity and strength. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. If you are a strong black individual and you speak against racism, white supremacy, you are on somebody's whiteboard. Some governmental agency more than likely is looking at you. If you own a cell phone, if you shop at a grocery store, if you use email, if you have a Facebook account, Twitter, all of this shit, and you for your people, guess what? You on somebody's whiteboard. Make them earn that shit. Make them earn that shit. You let them motherfuckers know they come for you, they coming for an army. Because they are. We ain't our old motherfucking Jesse Jackson, them motherfuckers. They sold out long the fuck time ago. Long the fuck time ago. Long the fuck time ago. We ain't them motherfuckers. So we the new breed. And we know who the fuck we is. And we know where the fuck we are. We home, baby. This home. You can't fuck with a motherfucker on their home team. You can't fuck with the home team on their own turf. They know this shit. That's why they fight so hard to keep you from knowing it. So guess what, black man, black woman? Know it. Reach out to me. Be educated.